Lights, camera, and action. Cut.
While I was browsing through the website, a very interesting section came up called Parent Diaries.
Sure.
So now, like, if you say Brown Girl Magazine, I guess the first thought that comes to someone's mind is, oh, it's about just South Asian women, but it's beyond that. It's not just like this young demographic. I think it goes much more than that. So Parent Diaries, I guess, is
Sure.
one thing like that. So could you tell us more about
Yeah,
that?
of course. We've always had Parent Diaries, but I think this was the first year that we're focusing on it a lot more. Because what we're realizing is our mission was very simple when we first started. When Aditi started in 2008, the mission was literally to focus and empower young South Asian women living only in the USA.
Mhm.
That was it, USA.
Yeah,
It was so simple and it was perfect.
right.
Until we realized we're seeing traffic from everywhere, and
Yeah.
it can't just be the USA anymore.
Right.
So then we became, then our mission became to focus and empower young women living in the diaspora.
Mm.
Great, it's working out for us. Then all of a sudden we realized we're seeing so much traffic from 35 plus. 35 plus, they're not young anymore. Sorry,
Right.
35 plus ladies. So now we're at a place where 18 to 24 is of course our primary demographic, but 35 plus is that market right now
Right.
where they need a home. And
Yeah.
they're coming to Brown Girl even though we're not serving the kind of content that they may need. So this was the first year we put together a team of mom bloggers from all over the country, and we have a mom editor now, and we're rolling out content that's related to their demo. We're working with
Right.
sponsors who are producing really awesome toys and products. The one that we're working with right now is JJ Hooray. She makes
Yeah.
these awesome, I'm sure
We've
you've
seen
them.
that. Yeah,
Here
yeah.
she's making these awesome flashcards and these really cool block towers that help with cultural learning essentially.
Right.
And we also did a really awesome event for moms on Mother's Day. We brought together 5-6 different sponsors, many of whom were moms. One was a bag stylist, one was a clothing designer, so on and so forth. And we're realizing that they need us, and why not? So now our mission is organically, again, it's just expanding on its own. And I know I've said that quite a few times already, but we're rolling with the times at Brown Girl,
Yeah.
and I love that we're able to do that. We want to adapt with what's needed and what our community wants from us.
Right. So it is a space for everyone. And speaking of that, it's a good segue into the next point that I wanted to discuss. I'm just throwing some stats out at you guys. Actually, Trisha is a better person to throw the stats out. Trisha, could you give us some kind of like a geographic and
Sure.
gender kind of
Absolutely.
Demographic breakdown?
Absolutely. I know Zen's favorite stat is
Yes, I'm going to highlight that at the end.
I love this stat too. I love bragging about this stat
Yeah.
actually more than anything because
Yeah.
no one believes it. But 30% of our traffic is coming in from boys, male. I mean, you guys are reading our content. You may not want to admit it, but you are. So just even a few years ago, I would have a lot of just like my close guy friends, not necessarily care that much about Brown Girl. The way that they spoke about it, it was. It just felt a little weird.
Yeah.
Now, a few years later, now it's almost become cool in a way,
And probably more respected.
more respected,
Yeah.
more known in the community. Now, one of my guy friends has a friend who knows it. So now all of a
Right.
sudden it's become cool, and they'll talk about Brown Girl. He'll be like, "Oh, I know someone from Brown Girl,"
Right.
Now all my guy friends are like, "When are you gonna make me Brown Boy?" But just a few years ago,
Yeah.
they didn't really want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
I love that stat. I think,
Yes.
again, that's a need that we haven't been able to fulfill yet. We have 150 writers, again, from all over the country and from Canada, and now we have a big team out in London.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have an all-male team yet. So that's the next big editorial goal that we have. And we were working on it, got them. We were working on it a little bit this year. It just didn't work out the way we wanted to. But
Right.
if you are a male and a writer who's interested in building his portfolio, please reach out to us.
Yeah.
Because we need an all-male team. Why not?
Yeah.
And we already have the section Brown Boy.
Check it out.
Check it out. So what we do there is we highlight young men that are doing awesome things, but we're not highlighting them enough. So I need someone that's just like a full team just dedicated to that alone.
Right.
So hopefully soon.
Because it makes sense. Because people say that when you have to write about women's issues or feminism, it doesn't make sense to not have a female writer, right? It just wouldn't make sense. Similarly, if you guys are highlighting stuff about men, then it makes sense to have men as writers.
Absolutely.
So, guys, if you are interested, you should definitely reach out and be a part of this Brown Girl family.
Yes.
That's amazing. So let me see my next question. Could you tell us something about your time hosting at ZTV and Hotstar? Because this podcast is as much about you as it is for Brown Girl. So we want to know something about you too. And you just hosted or you just interviewed Jay Sean and even interviewed a lot of cool people. So tell us something about that.
So of course, I mean, I think just like you guys have a drive to learn about other people and to not only understand what they're doing in their day-to-day, but understand their journey. And I think that's the amazing part about you guys, is we're similar in that way.
Thank you.
So I love learning about what people are doing and how they got there and when they got there. I've definitely been fortunate enough to interview a handful of people. Jay Sean, very recently, that just kind of happened on its own, and I didn't even realize he was about to walk into the booth. I thought I was going to actually interview Prophecy that day, who's another very well-known singer that we all know. And then Prophecy ended up not coming into the booth, but then all of a sudden they were like, oh, but Jay Sean's coming in, and I was like, I'm sweaty, I've been here for 5 hours. What do you mean he's coming in? Do I talk to him about his music? What do I talk to him about? But, it just happened, and somehow I just asked him questions. It was very quick. But, he gave me great answers, and I love when people make eye contact when they give you answers.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really awesome. We spoke about his British Indian upbringing. He started talking to me Punjabi, which was amazing. And we spoke a little bit about his daughter, and she's such a sweetheart. I always see his Instagram story. So just like that, I've definitely been fortunate enough to interview some cool people. Let's say Vikas Khanna from Junoon, the restaurant that we all know, and that was
Michelin star, right?
Michelin star. It was at the launch of one of his books. He has a ton of books. I wouldn't be able to count how many, but it was sweet. I gave one to my mom that Christmas. I think it was last year, actually. So it's been really awesome to get to know sort of like well-known, popular people from the other side. And I think the coolest part actually about sitting with Vikas Khanna was that we were talking at his restaurant and sitting down, and all of a sudden he saw a patron on another table not have water. So he had he was aware to get up, go serve, pour them water, and come back and be like, sorry, I needed to do that. Because that's his priority, And that was so cool. That's how you know that this guy is the real deal, you know? Doesn't matter if he's being interviewed, this is his life, and I love that. So I think when you interview someone, you just learn so much more about them, and so
and it's interesting to have these observations also, because whenever you meet people who are successful like that, it's really not really gotten to their head. They're taking every job as if it's their first job.
Absolutely.
I meet YouTubers who have 1 million subscribers, and then they'll still be like, hey, can you please subscribe me? They meet someone new. So it's very interesting to see how their mentality in terms of being grounded does not change, even though they're so successful. And I think it is common thread that at least I've observed in a lot of these kinds of successful people.
I feel like you can only be successful if you're still humble, you know? I'll never forget, I interviewed DJ Raycom many years ago. I don't even know if she remembers this, but I was, of course, fangirling to have met. This was the first time I had met her, and we started talking about my old newspaper that I was writing for, Queen's Tribune. Instead of me being excited about her, she was excited that I was writing for a local paper that her and her parents grew up reading. And
That's
just
amazing.
the way that she was talking about being a reporter, the Queen's Tribune, and how much it means to her, I was like, whoa. It almost made me feel better, because I was like, okay.
I'm famous too.
She knows a little something about me. But I love that about people, that you can get to, a place, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't allow you to, it doesn't force you to just not see anything else.
Right.
So,
Right. They're not clouded by their fame
That's what
or
you need to
success.
be.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Trisha, for your
Yes,
time and for your lovely apartment. This is actually her apartment, our amazing venue. Um, we're going to provide you links to Brown Girl, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everything. Make sure you follow them because they're really doing good stuff and we have to support each other.
Yes.
If you are someone who is going through, a phase where you want to start something, reach out to us, reach out to them. Let's support each other.
Absolutely.
South Asians for the win. Global citizens. Everyone is, helping each other out here. So follow Brown Girl, follow Trisha, follow JokerFace. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been The Chat with Trisha Sakhuja.
Yay.
Signing out. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the second part of the video. If for any case you did not watch the first part because, I don't know, you're weird, click here for the first part. And if you like the video, you know what to do. But just in case you don't,
Please like, share, and subscribe to JokerFace Entertainment.
good job.